Vanakkam, Namaskaram, the South Indian is here. Lots of activity in the two Telugu speaking states, mainly Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. The first, of course, is going to elections, and therefore lots of activity there, lot of excitement, some disappointments. We will speak about that. But in Andhra Pradesh, there's been indeed a very, very big development, as it were. The Andhra Pradesh High Court has granted interim bail to TDP Chief Chandrababu Naidu for 4 weeks on medical grounds in the alleged skill development case. If you may recall, Naidu went to jail sometime around 9th of September and has been in jail for 53 days. Now, medical grounds, of course, because he needs to undergo a cataract surgery, but even in jail, Chandrababu Naidu had lots of medical problems, according to his wife and according to some doctors, mainly because of the hot and humid weather in the Rajahmundry jail, and also he's been having some skin infections. As you may recall, Chandrababu Naidu, former Chief Minister of undivided Andhra Pradesh, was arrested by the state CID on 9th of September over an alleged fraud in the Andhra Pradesh Skill Development Corporation involving approximately 550 crores. That was the charges against Chandrababu Naidu. Of course, the court has been very pointed and said that Chandrababu Naidu should not involve himself in any kind of political activity. He should not meet with leaders who are seen to be politicians, and most importantly, he should not use or talk on the phone. He's of course likely to return to Hyderabad for a brief rest, and then we shall see what he's up to. And also his main bail petition, I think, is up for hearing on 10th of November. This particular interim bail is valid until 24th of November. In Naidu's absence, of course, his wife Bhuvaneshwari had started a bus yatra last week demanding justice, and his son Nara Lokesh, who had actually been in Delhi for several weeks, meeting with several leaders and also orchestrating forward plans, had halted his Padayatra. But then there are reports that he shall resume it very, very soon. So there you have it. Chandrababu Naidu is out on bail petition on grounds of deteriorating health, and this is 4 weeks of interim bail, which shall be valid until 24th of September. And now for the main kind of story, if I may say so, and that is, like I said, the activity in Telangana. I promised you the South Indian will bring you some story or the other from Telangana almost every day until the results are out on 3rd of December. Our focus, like I said, on Telangana. During the first and second terms, K Chandrashekar Rao or KCR focused on his stellar contribution in the birth of Telangana. There is no doubt, ladies and gentlemen, that sentiment, along with his welfare schemes, helped KCR win the elections. Even recently, at a rally in Kodad, KCR evoked Telangana pride and became rather emotional. Listen into what he had to say.
కర్నూలుకి ఎట్లయితే కవచ కుండలాలు ఉండేనో తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రానికి బీఆర్ఎస్ఏ శ్రీరామ రక్ష. తెలంగాణ బీఆర్ఎస్ పుట్టిందే తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర సాధన కోసం, తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర ప్రయోజనాల కోసం, తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర ప్రజలకు అడుగు అడుగునా కాపలాగా ఉండి వాళ్ళ హక్కులు కాపాడడానికి పుట్టింది అని నేను మనవి చేస్తా ఉన్నా.
But you know, a third time win seems like a tough call for KCR. Why for KCR? For any politicians. Much like any politician, KCR is also facing anti-incumbency, coupled with the charge of dynastic politics and also the sword of the Delhi liquor excise policy charge on his daughter K Kavita. Is that the reason why KCR is now gung-ho about turncoats who migrated to his party? Well, many may turn around and say that, come on, South Indian, Sudha Sadanand, what about leaders from the BRS who have left and joined other parties like Narayan Rao Patel and Pratap Reddy? That is the norm, isn't it, during this election season. But then let's not forget one thing, leaders are made and remembered for what they stand for. For instance, KCR, he's always insisted on the individuality of his principles. Someone who gave birth to Telangana, but also as an individual who stood by certain principles, and foremost among that was, pride of Telangana. Also, he is the only one who can today turn around and say, look, I gave birth to Telangana, what about you? But then, like in any election, things seem different this time around. The Pink Party is onboarding as many dissident leaders from the Congress and the BJP as it can be possible. In Mehboob Nagar, the BRS welcomed former Minister Nagam Janardhan Reddy and three-time MLA and Mudiraj leader Chandrashekar. Both leaders have significant gravitas in their respective regions. The BRS also invited into its fold former minister from the BJP, K Chandrashekar. Even as leaders from BRS, K Damodar Reddy and Narayan Reddy joined the Congress, the BRS clinched former CLP leader PGR's son, P Vishnuvardhan Reddy, whose family served the Congress for 55 years. And there are many such examples. Of course, Ponnala Lakshmaya is also an example. Like I said earlier, it is normal during the election season, but then it is also showing KCR's desperation to win at any cost. So, apart from the Telangana spirit, Telangana pride, Bangaru Telangana, which seems to have muted a little, is KCR heavily depending on turncoats, and will that prove to be counterproductive? That's our debate today. Let me welcome my panel, a very interesting panel, people who are journalists first and anything else later. A. Sai Shekhar, senior journalist and political analyst; Shyam Prasad Mika, who's spokesperson for the Congress; and Nagesh Kumar, who's also a senior journalist. A very warm welcome to all of you. It is great to have you on the show. The first thing is that, do you think, take turns, I have heard KCR speak, on the anvil of 2018 and even before that. The thing is that at that time, it was a lion which used to roar, and he took all the pride for everything that he went through for the birth of Telangana. Do you think that it has diminished slightly during this election? Sai Shekhar, you first, and please take turns, gentlemen.
I don't think his roar has diminished. It actually has amplified, and he's been very effectively communicating to the people that he has delivered, and he's got a long list of schemes and programs that are delivered by the Bharat Rashtra Samiti government, and whatever he has done in terms of development and also in terms of welfare have been balanced, and he's able to effectively communicate. There are some flaws, and some of them are work in progress, but then he's been seeking a vote, a renewed term for his deliverance. So I don't think his roar has diminished or anything like that. Yes, there is a point in the Congress argument that they have risen from the ashes, and especially after Karnataka elections, Congress has tried to reposition itself as the main rival for the BRS, and the BJP is relegated to the third position. But KCR still rides on the crest of his popularity, and there is some opposition for the people, for the MLA candidates in about 20-25 constituencies, which are KCR is aware of those things. But then he re-nominated those candidates again because he wanted to be the front runner in allotting the tickets and also putting out his manifesto, and and his son and nephew K Ramarao and Harish Rao have been doing whirlwind tours, and now KCR is also
Right.
on the track, and he's covered several meetings. So I don't think there is any diminution in terms of his role.
No, my point was, this please, Nagesh Garu, if you can take it, is that the whole Telangana, I mean Telangana's birth, the struggle for Telangana, Nagesh Garu, do you think that that has kind of taken a back seat and KCR is perhaps looking at other reasons to win this time around? For me, it does.
Definitely, you cannot expect the same slogan to work again and again and again. You know, if that is so, then the Congress is also giving out the slogan saying that it is a Doral Telangana versus Prajal Telangana. Congress is saying that Doral Telangana is represented by the landed gentry, that represented by KCR,
right,
and the People's Telangana that is represented by the Congress. So if Telangana was really an issue again, then the Congress also ought to have received some credit, because after all, it is Congress that has midwife the birth of Telangana, and let us not give the whole credit to TRS or now BRS for Telangana, because without the initiative of the Congress and support from the BJP, Telangana would have never become a reality. So now for the TRS, you see, TRS has also changed its name, so and made it into a Bharat Rashtra Samiti.
True.
So the Telangana slogan has considerably been diluted by the stand that KCR has taken by seeking greener pastures across the borders of Telangana. He was forayed into Maharashtra, and he has tried some feeble attempts to go to Andhra. So the Telangana sentiment, I don't think, has worked, and overall the momentum has shifted from the TRS to slowly it is shifting. I think it's a continuous process. Momentum is shifting from the TRS to the Congress. Today, the political narrative, the election narrative, is in favor of the Congress, and don't be surprised if there are any surprises in this elections on December 3rd.
All right, and Shyam Prasad Meka, I mean, Nagesh Garu has left you on a very good note. I mean, you can pick it up, but let me tell you that this entire Telangana, because it's a young state, you know, so therefore evoking Telangana pride seems to be the natural corollary for any politician. I mean, look at the Congress, like just now Nagesh Garu said, they also have given it a moniker. I mean, they spoke about socialists, they spoke speaking about ordinary people and Telangana, how it belongs to them. Would you say that overall, this sentiment of evoking Telangana's pride and Telangana's birth is now done and dusted?
Sudha, that would be good evening. Thanks for having me here.
Hi.
First of all, let me actually appreciate you for the fact that you are not making an effort to hide your admiration for KCR. Because I appreciate you for that, because journalism is not just a balancing act. Journalism needs to be done with a heart. I appreciate you for that. Now, coming to the issue. See, yeah, being a congressman, in the midst of the elections, let me tell you very clearly, my party people, some of them might take umbrage at me. See, I can't rule out role of KCR in the formation of Telangana. He should be appreciated.
Yes.
When a lot of people doesn't have confidence that they can pull it off, he is the one guy who stood by his idea and went through with it. That should be appreciated, very clear. Second, so while he did that, people actually gave him the appreciation in the form of handing him the power in 2014 and again in 2019 for more time. But that is enough This is over. People will not rest on the laurels of Telangana state formation forever. People also know that the Congress party, which actually gave the Telangana while suffering in Andhra Pradesh, while paying the political price, actually stood very high on its principles,
All right.
for the on its commitment for Telangana. So that is also very clearly in the minds of people. Now to the coming to the current situation, especially during the ticket distribution, people will change parties, this party to that party.
That's normal.
To Congress also people came.
Of course.
That is not the thing. But before this ticket distribution, if I wear my enlist hat for a minute, look at the past 2-3 months, the movement is towards the Congress. So that actually tells you a trend. And second, people shifting parties now, I will tell you, irrespective of Congress or TRS, these are the feudal elements who are having the politics of this country in their clutches. They'll shift the party, but they will not leave power to anybody
I mean,
else.
we'll come to that.
These
because,
are the feudal elements.
Sure. I
Within
have
my
those.
own party also.
I have their
people
names on the screen, Shyam. I have their names, also leaders from the BJP like Yellanna, who's joined, or Ramadevi from the BJP, sure. But you know what, I don't think you paid me a compliment. You actually labeled me for saying that you appreciate me for my open appreciation of KCR Garu. I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm a South Indian.
No, honestly,
I do not know if I've ever seen a leader who speaks Urdu and Hindi with such aplomb and can tell every North Indian to just back off. For me, in Delhi, as a South Indian, that's a great win up amongst other people like MK Stalin, who says Hindi bhagao. KCR Garu is my man, because he will say बेकार की बातें मत करिए, एक बार मैं आपको बता दूंगा तो आप लोग को पता चल जाएगा. And that's where KCR is my hero. He adds the layers to me. Let me go back to Sai Shekhar. Sai, I want to ask you that if he's so confident, that is, this is going to be his hat trick. If he's so confident because he brought out the list first, he was an early bird, everyone followed him. He is supposed to be very organized. Everyone makes mistakes. So, it's not a political thing that I am going to, this is not a political debate. It should be like we are all sitting in a drawing room and talking and having coffee or tea or whatever. I am asking you, then why is he welcoming these disgruntled leaders into the fold? And it is normal. But sending emissaries like Harish Rao and KTR Garu, please come, please come. It's almost like it is over the top. What is the reason?
I would like to tell you that KCR has announced the list first, and he has renominated most of his candidates. And he has not nominated any immigrant into the BRS after the election mode has come in. And KCR's candidates are all BRS candidates. KCR has not budged on that stand. And even though he is very well aware that, some 20-25 constituencies, there is an anti-incumbency, he wanted to address that individually and make sure that his candidates win the election. Whereas when you come to the Congress, which has followed suit, which has followed KCR's announcement of the list much later, in two spells, one is in 55 seats and another list in 45 seats, which is 100. 22 candidates have been nominated from, out of 100, 22 were immigrants from other parties, and most of them are from BRS.
But what about Ponnala Lakshmaiah?
Listen, Ponnala Lakshmaiah is not going to contest in this election, Sudha.
Yeah, but he's there. And obviously, because Congress, that's what I'm going to ask Shyam. I'm going to ask Shyam, because when I spoke to many people, they said, the survey said he will not win the election. He's a good man.
Ponnala Lakshmaiah has not been nominated by BRS.
But but he was welcomed, no, Sai.
He was welcomed. See, after the election lists were announced, when the people who are disgruntled in the Congress, they want to join the BRS, okay. See, such a senior leader like Ponnala Lakshmaiah and Nagam Janardhan Reddy, they are seniors to KCR in politics. And Nagam Janardhan Reddy became a minister much before KCR became a minister in Chandrababu Naidu government, and Nagam Janardhan Reddy was a minister in N.T. Ramarao government also. So to honor their stature, he has sent his emissaries KTR and Harish Rao. Same is the case with, the son of the giant killer, Mr. P. Janardhan Reddy. He's been the leader of the opposition during N.T. Ramarao's time and Chandrababu Naidu's time. And when his son, who was ignored, when he sent feelers, he first went and met KCR, and then as a matter of courtesy, he met Harish Rao.
Right.
Listen, I want to make one point, Sudha. KCR has not given tickets to anybody who has migrated into the BRS on the when the state is at the threshold of the election.
Yeah, but then there is something called perception, Sai. If you accommodate a senior leader like who spent 45 years in the Congress, like Lakshmaya Garu, and also he is disgruntled because he feels Congress insulted him, discriminated him. He is a BC leader, learned. You were the one who actually told me that he went to NASA, Sudha. Do not kind of, you were the one, Sai, and I am saying it on national TV. You told me, educated me that day. So I am thinking that by getting him into the party, it is also a message that KCR is sending. He could not do anything about making a BC a chief minister or giving land to landless BCs. This is perception also. I'll come back to you. Nagesh Garu, I want to go to you. I want to ask you that, let's take the question of Nagam Janardhan Reddy and three-time MLA and Mudiraj leader Erra Sekar. Don't you think Erra Sekar is also an acquisition by KCR because of the community which holds sway? Itala has been, regular, please, correct me if I am wrong. Itala has been going hammer and tongs, and Mudiraj leaders I've been reading have been striking. They are saying that, how come BRS doesn't care about us? So don't you think that's a smart acquisition, Erra Sekar?
Yes, definitely. Since Ital Rajendra also belongs to the same community, to get Erra Sekar into the party, sort of quite neutralizes or offsets to a certain extent the impact of Ital Rajendra. But the larger point here that I am listening to very carefully is that is the BRS admitting defectors or not? See, there are two kinds of defectors in the TRS. TRS has become an expert in admitting and entertaining defectors. One are the old-time defectors, one are the new-time defectors. New-time defectors had no time or no chance, no prospects of getting a ticket because the tickets were, thanks to the credit of KCR, tickets were advanced fairly early, nearly 2 months, 3 months before the elections. But there are old-time defectors, and I'm not talking about pre-2014. I'm talking about people like Sabita Indra Reddy and others who were elected on the, even today, Sabita continues to be a Congress, she won on a Congress ticket. She continues to be Congress MLA. But, she defected and was made a minister. So what about them? They continue to get the ticket to the detriment of people of the TRS who stood by KCR during the 2014 elections and during the 2018 assembly elections. I mean, KCR is no saint as far as admitting defectors is concerned. That is one point I wanted to make, that it is not as if, KCR has washed everyone clean with a sort of a hose pipe.
No one, not at all. I mean, to be a politician is to be someone who's smart, to be able to retain power after all. I mean, no politician is a saint. I mean, gone are those days. They will not repeat themselves. But this is the question, ladies and gentlemen, that is KCR banking on turncoats. These are turncoats, which Shyam said many of them have a feudal mindset. But let me ask Shyam Prasad Meka yet another question. Shyam, don't you think that, PJR's son, P. Vishnu Varadhan Reddy, is a loss to the Congress? I mean, genuinely, for God's sake. I mean, PJR was a very, very popular leader. Now, if we speak about Ponnalla, he had 45 years. This family has given 55 years. Don't you think that he is not only his going will impact your party, but also he may bring a lot of his followers, I say, into the party?
See, Sudha, one thing, since you are asking specifically about certain leaders, I will comment on that. The first point is everybody lost is lost. It's a loss. Okay. But Congress party doesn't change its stand for one person. Very simply, PJR's daughter is given a ticket and son is not given a ticket. Ticket is not the only thing that is the way of giving respect. So it's okay. I respect his decision. He wants to move away and KCR wants to take him. KCR suddenly realized how great PJR was and how he should accommodate his son. That is fine. That is between them. This is Ponnala Lakshmaya. I have a lot of respect to him.
Yes.
He's given 45 years to the party. He was there. Party also gave him a huge platform. He was heading the Jalayagnam, all the irrigation of the country. Pani PPK koste the KCR. Ponnala Lakshmaya ko. Individually, not the policy. People of Telangana know all these things. It is fresh in our minds. How KCR used to treat Ponnala Lakshmaya while he was the Minister for Irrigation. He was attacked personally, insulted horribly by KCR himself. People know all this. So let's leave that.
But also Nagam, no, Sham, also throw light on Nagam, no? He was such... Nagam, my God, the kind of verbal duels these people had. I mean, he is now sitting, you know, in the lap of KCR, but then there was animosity there also. Would you agree?
Yeah, that's fine. That's why I'm saying this is a feudal politics as of now, which we are trying to change Congress party to a certain extent. But now, since your main question is, why is KCR and Congress banking on turncoats? See, the question is, both the parties, let me be very frank, they are fighting a battle of perceptions. Today, the battle is, the perception battle is Congress have an upper hand today, very clearly. People in the nook and corner of Telangana know that Congress is coming to power. Now, KCR is trying to turn the tide and win this perception battle. He is doing his stuff. Let him do his politics. No, we are doing our politics. But the main important thing is, he is given 10 years uninterrupted chance. Now only don't talk about turncoats. KCR actually split the party up. 12 MLAs from Congress. He lured them into his party. He is not a saint. Okay, so wait. So now, today the question is, what else will you do that you couldn't do in these 10 years? That is the question people of Telangana are asking. You can't forever... He is an excellent orator.
Yes, there are no two ways.
Just by your oratory, we are not going to be fooled by you forever. 10 years we have given, that's enough. Move aside. Let somebody have a shot.
No, but let's not take away his welfare schemes.
No, one second.
Come on.
One second.
Raitu Bandhu, Raitu Bima.
1 second.
Kalyana Lakshmi, Shadi Mubarak.
10 seconds I will finish.
Yeah, sure.
10 seconds I will finish.
Please take it.
See, the problem is KCR, once the Telangana is realized, it's a surplus state, rich state, strong state. There is no other benchmark to compare. From the moment the Telangana is formed, only KCR is ruling.
Yeah.
So he is doing tall claims by making so many debts on the states. Now it's time for the people to have another benchmark to compare. Congress, being the party that has realized the Telangana, is the alternative, strong alternative, and that is actually people have made their mind to bring back Congress in Telangana.
Okay. Sai Shekhar, you know, what I mean, I'm not punting for the win or, you know, loss of any party. That's something I do not know. But if we go by the perception of what many pollsters are saying, and I mean, what Sham also just now said, and Nagesh Garu also indirectly kind of insinuated, if you take so many disgruntled leaders or migrants, I will use that word, because look at the BJP, it's suffering because of migrants and others in the party, you know, the son of the soil, salt of the earth, they are fighting away to glory. I am asking you, what happens post-election, Sai Shekhar? Have you thought of it? In either scenario, win or loss?
So, listen, KCR has only added critical mass, whereas Congress has been suffering from dearth of candidates. Otherwise, why will they nominate 22 candidates imported from other parties? For MLA tickets, they have entertained immigrants. KCR is only adding critical mass for the winnability factor, and all these leaders like Nagam and all have not been given tickets. Number one. Number two, earlier you were making a comment about the invectives heard by Nagam Janardhan Reddy and KCR at each other. But I would like to submit to you, what about Revant Reddy's comments about Sonia Gandhi? He called her Bali Devata. So, and Revant Reddy was very, very acerbic when he was talking about Rajashekar Reddy's demise. He said that, Rajashekar Reddy disappeared in Pauralagutta like a pauram, like a pigeon. So that man has been brought and adopted by the Congress party as its president. So he is running the show now, and Shyam Prasad Garu is talking about the Jalayajnam and Purnala Lakshmi's contribution and how KCR has called him names. But then, first of all, the Congress should know that it's like kettle calling pot black. Their leader himself is he was also caught with bags of cash being handed over to an MLA, and that case is still pending in Supreme Court, not in a small court. So, Congress slate is not clean, and as far as in comparison, KCR is better placed. This is what I feel.
Right. Nagesh Garu, I want to come to you, and kind of the perspective now is on turncoats, like I said on our show. Would you like to take that question? Is that, when you write an editorial after the elections, or I, talk about it, what happens to KCR, in either case of a win or a loss? In the sense that if he wins, then what does he do with all of them? A lot of them have not come there because, for instance, Ponnala Lakshmaya, a very, very respectful leader, someone who's joined the Congress, the BRS from the Congress because of disgruntlement and what he describes as insult, or Nagam or several other people. What happens to them in either case? I see KCR struggling right now, even before 3rd December. I mean, I'm somewhat can be clairvoyant.
No, that should not be a problem. In case he wins, it is very easy to accommodate them because the upper house is there. Telangana has got a legislative council, though a small one with 40 members. He can accommodate them in the legislative council, and thereafter, people like Ponnala Lakshmaya, who have got a good track record, he can accommodate them in the cabinet. Others, he can make them chairman of corporations or even statutory bodies like Public Service Commission or whatever vacancy is there. But here the problem is slightly different. It is not, see, as far as the battle of perception is concerned, people like Ponnala, Nagam Janardhan Reddy, these two people have got a good image by and large among the public. No corruption charges are there. So to that extent, their defection helps. Then as far as the others are concerned, Vishnuvardhan Reddy, after he was denied the ticket, he was accused of throwing stones at Gandhi Bhavan and burning the party flag.
Sure.
I don't know how much truth is there in those reports. Vishnuvardhan Reddy is quite different from his father, P. Janardhan Reddy.
Yes.
P. Janardhan Reddy was like a Robin Hood, who used to, he was the Robin Hood of the Twin Cities. He helped the poor wherever they were needed. But I don't think Vishnuvardhan Reddy still has that same image. So the point I am trying to make is that these people have got some image. Janardhan Reddy and Ponnala Lakshmaya, and maybe to a certain extent, to a small extent, Shekhar also. But to expect them to have a mass following in their respective constituencies and fetch those votes in favor of BRS is stretching things a bit too far.
Right. Nagesh Garu, then let me ask you, I mean, just for the sake of, slightly deviating from that topic, look at the migrant population, what I mean is the leaders. Which party do you think has done a better job? Do you think it's I'm not counting the BJP at all, and for reasons best known to all of us, but amongst the BRS and the Congress, both in the sense of perception. I mean, I'm not talking about the perception of who will definitely win. Elections can also be very, very tricky, as we all know. But you think that with a purpose, you know, here I feel it's about getting everyone on the board. It's like a big joint family that I have Tata Garu, father, mother, aunt, uncle, everyone. I mean, that's what I see KCR as, you know, the big joint family. But Congress, do you think the Congress has done a very smart job in kind of getting people, onboarding leaders from, let's say, the BRS?
Yes, that's a very important question that you have raised, in the sense that, the momentum, as I said, is going towards towards the Congress, but the BRS has done in terms better than definitely than the Congress in terms of attracting leaders. You may find an inherent contradiction in what I say, but that is a fact, because people still see the Congress as a party, the BRS as a party. I mean, that can sort of give out doles in front of after the elections. Whereas the Congress, there is a lot of infighting, there is a lot of struggle for each position. That's why people are not gravitating in such large numbers towards the Congress.
Yeah, okay. And yes, you are absolutely right. I had done a show with all of you about so many claimants for the Chief Minister's chair, fighting, and Ponnala Lakshmaiah told me, and it was a very emotional interview. He said that there is no one who listens to me. K.C. Venugopal just made a curtsy, kind of acknowledging me, said sit down. But apart from that, state leadership, not bothered at all. No one. There is infighting which is going on. That's a big problem with the Congress party. But of course, with Kharge coming in, those things are also being sorted to a great extent. Sai Shekhar, when I spoke to Ponnala, and this is not just Ponnala specific question, but a larger question, and it has, of course, its genesis, and also it will result in turncoats, Shyam. You say that a survey was carried out, okay? And you say that XY leader will not win elections, will this time kind of lose their deposits. Ponnala Lakshmaiah was apparently one of them, and the survey said that despite tall leader has done a lot, 45 years, etc., he will not. He decided he will go to the BRS. But I want to ask you about Mohammad Azharuddin. Does the same rule apply to every candidate, Shyam?
Yeah, see, Sudha, I think nobody said any survey about Ponnala Lakshmaiah by the time he left the party. Still the decision was pending. Unfortunately, he's a very respected man. Somehow, I don't know what hurt him. He took a different stand. Okay, let's leave it at that. Now, you mentioned about Chandrashekar. He's being a Mudra's leader. Come on. So, this is symbolism at the end of it. Now, how many tickets did the BRS give to Mudra's community in the 119
That's contentious.
Seats?
No, that's what
they didn't.
Yeah, they did not.
They did.
Yeah.
They did not. Okay. So, see, that's why they are trying to patch up these things. That is what is happening, and people are watching all these things. Now, as far as surveys are concerned, I don't think surveys will get it 100% right on every occasion and on every seat. Sometimes they will miss out certain facts. Yes, I know. Even today, there are a couple of seats which we are struggling to decide. I don't know why we should struggle so much. It's a clear open and shut case. Still they are pending in the third list. I don't know. But we don't know everything. Parties will try to make sure they will consider 100 things, try to make sure they got the winning horses. Yeah. Unfortunately, politics is not about principles or what you stand for, but the main thing is your winnability.
Absolutely.
That is what
at
we
the end of the day,
our politics
yeah.
to.
And that's why, very well said, and that's why Sai Shekhar, this entire theory about that he's not giving tickets, KCR Garu is not giving tickets to migrants, seems a little problematic for me, because look at Komtireddy Rajagopal Reddy. He flew from the BJP, we know the history of Munugod, right, and he goes back to the Congress. he's promptly given a ticket. He said, that's why I'm going. Why am I? He told me on the phone, why do you think I'm in politics? Just for the heck of it. My brother and I are there. So don't you think that this will backfire on KCR Garu? Sai Shekhar?
No, definitely not, because with the same winnability factor was taken into account by the BJP, which was riding on the crest of its popularity, and they have made Rajgopal Reddy resign for his MLA position and then nominated him as a BJP candidate in Munugod, and he lost. So it is the winnability factor which he and Rajgopal Reddy had huge loads of money with him, and he could not, still clinch the election. The BRS nominee has actually, he's not a very strong candidate in that sense, but
right.
Then he won with 10,000 votes majority.
Yeah, 10,309
so
votes.
Is a gamble.
Yeah, but then Congress has given him a ticket, right? I mean, I would say you won only
Congress
by 10,000.
For 22 people. 22
yeah.
people.
No, but I'm saying they are saying you come, I'll give you a ticket. But here, like you say, which means are you also accepting Ponnala does not have winnability streak in his side?
For that reason, so those people who are seniors, who have wielded considerable influence among the people, they have gone adrift towards the BRS for this reason, precisely for humiliation. For example, you take KCR has denied tickets to some people, like Rajaya, who was Deputy Chief Minister. He sent KTR to talk to him and negotiate with him. Wherever tickets were denied, he sent ministers to explain to them the situation and then convince them, and they have fallen in line. Congress has not done it. Congress has it showed its arrogance in denying tickets to leaders. This is the problem with the Congress, and they will do the same thing when it comes to power also.
Right. And on that note, I've completely run out of time, but my thanks are due to Sai Shekhar, Nagesh Kumar, and also Shyam Prasad Meka. It was really a riveting conversation. Thank you so much. And that's all the South Indian has today. But like I said, I promise you, I will bring you something or the other on that state that is going to elections on 30th of November with results on 3rd of December. That is Telangana. Until then, Vanakkam, Namaskaram.